Before the F1 season even kicked off, the FIA's controversial new rules on swearing and misconduct had already claimed their first victim. Rally driver Adrien Fourmeau has been fined for using what the FIA calls inappropriate language during a post-race interview. This isn't just about rallying, it's a clear warning to every driver under the FIA's umbrella, including Formula One. The FIA is dead serious about cracking down on swearing, criticism, and even gestures they consider offensive. But here's the thing. The rules are so vague that even casual, non-offensive language can get drivers in trouble. So what does this mean for F1 drivers, and how are they reacting? Stick around as we dive into the details. And if you're as passionate about motorsport as we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on all the latest F1 news and drama. Let's get started. The FIA's new rules on misconduct are broad and, frankly, a little intimidating. They define misconduct as any use of language, written, verbal, or even gestures, that is offensive, insulting, coarse, rude, abusive, or inappropriate. This includes anything that could reasonably be perceived as offensive or humiliating. The rules also cover physical actions like elbowing, kicking, or punching, and inciting others to do the same. Essentially, the FIA has given itself the power to police not just what drivers say, but how they say it, and even how they express themselves non-verbally. The first driver to fall foul of these rules was Adrien Fourmeau during Rally Sweden. After a messy start line incident where he began a stage without his helmet strap properly fastened, Fourmeau used some casual language in a post-race interview. He wasn't directing his words at anyone, nor was he being intentionally offensive, but under the FIA's new rules, intent doesn't matter. Fourmeau was hit with a €1,000 fine and a further suspended €2,000 fine. The FIA's fine structure is tiered based on the level of competition. For non-FIA International Series, the base fine is €10,000. For FIA Regional Championships, it's doubled to €20,000. For World Championship Series like the WRC, it's tripled to €30,000. And for Formula One drivers, the base fine is quadrupled to a whopping €40,000. That's right. If an F1 driver says the wrong word, they could be hit with a €40,000 fine. Fourmeau's fine might seem small in comparison, but it's a clear message to all drivers. The FIA is watching, and they're not afraid to enforce these rules. Drivers have 48 hours to pay their fines or face suspension until the fine is settled. The FIA has defended its new rules by emphasizing the global nature of motorsport. In the steward's document regarding Fourmeau's fine, they acknowledge that the language used has become a common colloquialism. However, they argued that this doesn't make it acceptable in public discourse, especially on live television broadcasts. The FIA pointed out that motorsport reaches diverse audiences, including people of different ages and cultural backgrounds. Some of these viewers might find certain words offensive, even if they're used casually. The FIA's goal is to ensure that inappropriate language isn't used in public forums, including interviews, press conferences, and social media. While this reasoning might sound fair on the surface, many fans and drivers feel the rules are overly restrictive and don't account for the heat-of-the-moment emotions that come with racing. Unsurprisingly, F1 drivers aren't happy about the new rules. At the Williams Shakedown event, Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon both voiced their concerns. Sainz, who recently moved from Ferrari to Williams, said he doesn't agree with the FIA's decision to codify a system that could lead to fines or suspensions for swearing or criticizing officials. Albon added that drivers have been discussing how to respond to the new rules. He acknowledged that it's a delicate matter, but made it clear that most drivers don't think the rules are fair. Sainz also pointed out that while drivers should control themselves in press conferences, what they say on team radio during a race is a different story. Sainz argued that the pressure, adrenaline, and emotions drivers experience in the car are intense, and sometimes that leads to swearing. He believes these moments are part of what makes F1 exciting and authentic. Drivers are already heavily constrained in what they can say about their teams and situations, so penalizing them for expressing their emotions feels like a step too far. Enjoying this so far? Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more F1 insights. The Grand Prix Drivers Association has also weighed in on the issue. Last November, they sent an open letter to the FIA, asking the governing body to treat drivers like adults. The letter argued that fines aren't appropriate for motorsport, and called for transparency about how the fines are spent. The GPDA's letter was a direct response to Max Verstappen's punishment after he swore during a post-race press conference at the Singapore Grand Prix. Verstappen was ordered to complete community service in Rwanda, working with grassroots motorsport organizations. The GPDA's letter received no formal response from the FIA, though FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem did comment that the FIA isn't required to disclose how it spends every penny, just as teams aren't. With pre-season testing just around the corner, all eyes are on the drivers to see how they'll respond to the FIA's new rules. Will they take a stand during press conferences? Will they refuse to answer certain questions? Or will they wait until the season-opening Australian Grand Prix to make their feelings known? Given the widespread dissatisfaction among drivers, it's almost guaranteed that something will happen. Whether it's a coordinated protest or individual acts of defiance, the FIA's new rules are likely to spark some serious tension in the paddock. The FIA's new rules aren't just about swearing, they're about control. By policing language and behavior so strictly, the FIA is sending a message that they have the final say in how drivers conduct themselves, both on and off the track. This has broader implications for the sport as a whole. For one, it could stifle the authenticity that makes F1 so compelling. Fans love hearing drivers' raw emotions over team radio or in post-race interviews. It's a glimpse into the high-pressure world of motorsport that you don't get from scripted statements or PR-approved comments. If drivers are forced to censor themselves, some of that magic could be lost. Additionally, the rules could create a chilling effect. If drivers are worried about being fined or suspended for speaking their minds, they might be less likely to call out legitimate issues within the sport. This could hinder progress and transparency in F1, which is already facing criticism for its governance and decision-making processes. Unsurprisingly, fans have had a lot to say about the FIA's new rules. Social media has been flooded with comments criticizing the governing body for being overly strict and out of touch. Many fans feel that the rules are a distraction from more pressing issues in the sport, like improving race safety or addressing the environmental impact of F1. Some fans have even suggested that the FIA is using the rules as a way to silence drivers who might criticize the organization. Given the FIA's history of controversial decisions, it's not hard to see why some people are skeptical of their motives. So, what do you think about the FIA's new swearing rules? Are they a necessary step to maintain professionalism in motorsport, or are they an overreach that stifles drivers' freedom of expression? And what should the drivers do to push back against these rules? Should they protest, or is it time for F1 to consider splitting from the FIA? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more F1 updates, and ring the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.